Hey, what's up everyone? Welcome to Sunday Tone. My name's Brendan, and in this video we're going to take a quick look at the Mercury7 Reverb by Meris. I'm going to give you a quick overview of some of its features, kind of what makes it unique compared to other reverb pedals, and hopefully help you decide whether this is a pedal you want to check out or a pedal you want to add to your board. So let's get into it. Alright, I quickly want to give you a walkthrough of kind of the layout of the pedal and some of the different modes and things that it does. So first, you have these two algorithms here that you can switch between by hitting this button here. There's the Ultraplate algorithm, and there is the Cathedra algorithm. The Ultraplate being kind of your standard, just really nice plate reverb, and then the Cathedra is kind of the big, lush, ambient, washy reverb. And so within both of those, you have a couple different settings here. You have the decay, which controls just the length of the reverb. You have modulation that you can turn up and control. You have the mix of the reverb. You have a low and high frequency where you can tame how long it takes for those trails of the low or the high to taper off. And then you have this pitch vector knob where you can control a couple different pitch modes. So there is just off in this setting, there's a low octave, there's a high octave, shimmer, there's a fifth octave, and then there's also these two modes where the pitch will either kind of rise up or lower in the background kind of while you're playing. And then you have this swell knob here that you can engage to kind of get like a slow gear sound or a swell, auto swell type sound, which is really cool. So then each of these knobs has a secondary function that you can control by holding this Alt knob here. So I'm not going to go through each of them, but you can basically hold this down and get access to kind of other parameters like pre-delay and controlling kind of the rise, how long it takes for the auto swell to engage. And then there's other things like controlling the mix of the pitch and a couple other things like that. So let's go ahead and jump into some sounds. Alright, in this first clip, I'm playing through the Ultraplate setting on the Mercury7, and this is kind of a more subtle setting I would use for rhythm parts or just big chords and things like that. So I'm playing through my Fender Jazzmaster. This is a classic player, into a Blues Junior, and I'm using a little bit of Overdrive from the JHS Morning Glory in this clip. Alright, in this next clip I'm using the Cathedra algorithm in the Mercury7, using an octave up and just doing some finger picking. I'm playing through my PRS Silver Sky SE into the Blues Junior. There's no other pedals running in this clip. This is more of an ambient sound just to give you an idea of the kind of ethereal shimmer type sounds you can get out of this pedal. Alright, in this next clip I am demoing the swell setting on the Mercury 7. Still using the Cathedra algorithm, and this time using a octave down shimmer, kind of an anti-shimmer sound. And what you'll hear is this kind of gives you a really cool ambient swell sound without using a volume pedal. Everything in this next clip is just using the Mercury 7, no other pedals. So I think it's a really cool option if you have a small pedal board, or you don't have a volume pedal, or you don't want to add one to your board. You can kind of get some of those sounds without having a volume pedal. I think you got to be a little bit careful with how you trigger it, how you move around on the neck, and how you play it, but it can kind of get some cool ambient sounds. Alright, in this last clip, I am kind of playing around with the Cathedra setting again, but this time with the pitch completely rolled off, so no shimmer or pitch stuff going on. And then I have the modulation kind of on a lower setting. I'm using kind of a decay and a mix that I would for lead lines on like a normal Sunday worship type tone. So I've had the Mercury 7 for about a week now. I played it last Sunday at church, and I've really been enjoying it. So kind of my final thoughts on this. I think the good things about it are it's a relatively small size, and it has a lot of things in it. It only has 2 algorithms, but for me, I think that is really nice, because you know those 2 algorithms are really great. They really spent a lot of time kind of tweaking and making them sound good. I think there's really no bad sounds in this pedal. I've been using the RV5 for years. It's never really left my board. I've tried tons of different reverb pedals, but none of them really in such a small package sound as good to me. I've tried some of the Strymon pedals. I have tried some of the Walrus stuff, tons of other pedals, but this really does some unique things. It gives you a lot of options in a small package. So I think any cons for this that I have really have to do with presets. If you see my board ever, I use a really small board. I've had bigger boards and whatnot, but I really like having a simple setup that I don't have to be doing a bunch of, reaching around to turn things on and off. And I don't really have a lot of space for huge pedals. I have a couple of things that are bigger, but that's a big con for me with this, is that there's no way to switch presets. They kind of want you to use MIDI or use another pedal to control it, but I feel like they could have used this swell button, you hold it down for a few seconds and that switches to at least another preset and back. Being able to switch even between the 2 algorithms, the same thing as hitting this button here that kind of switches between the algorithms, something like that would be really nice. But that's really hard for me. I know there's other things like the new UA pedals, like the Golden, and it has a kind of favorite switch here. Strymon has just come out with their Cloudburst pedal that kind of has the sound from the big sky in it, so that's another one I might check out. But again, that one doesn't have any sort of way to switch in the box. which there's other pedals I haven't tried yet, like the Jet Pedals Revelation, and that one you can switch presets. So, but for right now, I'm really loving this pedal. So if you've made it this far, I really appreciate it. I'm gonna have more videos like this coming out soon, so you should subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.